I'm the CEO of Only A Pavement Away, which is a charity that acts as a conduit to get vulnerable people, ex-offenders, people coming from the military, people who have been homeless, into jobs in hospitality.
My name's Johnny Mercer and I am a Member of Parliament, and I'm also the Government's Minister for Veterans Affairs in the UK today.
I'm Scotty Mills. I'm a former Royal Marines officer. I've been fortunate enough to have served all around the world on all the most recent and not so recent operations as well. I just left 18 months ago, and I'm sharing my knowledge and experience with people and teams, hopefully to help them on the stepping stones to life.
Since we started and launched in October 2018, and you have to allow for the fact obviously that COVID's there, so there haven't been the amount of jobs coming through. We've put 78 people into work, and they're a mix of ex-military, people coming out of prison, people who have been homeless. And those 78 people that have gone into work have added £2.5 million to the economy. And that's based on the fact that if a rough sleeper's on the street, that probably costs the government £20,000. But then if they get a job, they're paying their rent, they're paying their tax, national insurance. We add a value to the economy as well as helping people restart their lives.
My job is to essentially run it and to make sure it fulfills the function of pulling together all aspects of government and make sure they are delivering for veterans. And that's essentially what we're trying to do. And that covers a whole plethora of things, whether it's data. We don't really have data on veterans in this country, through to working closely with the charity sector to make sure that what they can offer veterans is not duplication and things like that, but actually ruthless commitment to improving the life chances of all our veterans.
I'm a Peckham-led South London lad to start with. Going from Peckham and then joining the Marines was a real change in regards of, the background and people that I was interacting with. And what I noticed was that, people were using words like humility and integrity. They were using words like understated excellence. And I got to realise that actually there's a bigger world than South London. And it really opened my eyes to the fact that there's so much diversity, so much knowledge and experience that I could gain as I grew as a young man.
It seems sensible to have that loop of people who have been homeless, people who are living in the military and are trying to get back into mainstream life, people who are coming out of prison. And having the military there, what the employers get is they get a real work ethic. And that just fitted in with what we were trying to sell to the employers. If you leave the military, you're used to teamwork, you're used to discipline, you're used to how you present yourself. And they just bring so much to the team. And I know we've got a number of employers out there who are saying, how do we get in and recruit veterans? How do we get these veterans? And it seemed that we would act as that conduit to do it.
There are these real titans in these industries who go the extra mile to really understand and try and get under the lid of employing veterans. Why is it a challenge? Why do a lot of people start and then leave? What are the various experiences of veterans leaving and how can we improve their lives? And having a job is by some distance the number one factor in improving the life chances of those who've served. I'm delighted to help, and Greg's work is pretty humbling, and I'll do anything I can to support him.
The most important thing is to stand by and try to support our people who have given so much.
I think for us as a whole, for Only A Pavement Away, is to be recognised as the charity for the employment of vulnerable people into careers in the hospitality industry.
Those service links and those links to the service charity community are going to be key in helping Only A Pavement Away and Greg sort of moving forward. I think it's really important to try to link with those charities, to try to understand about early intervention that might need to take place and might be possible to take place, so that we can reduce the likelihood of someone falling onto harder times, and hopefully interact at an earlier stage to give them an opportunity for employment.
If we're going to work with veterans, what do we need to do? We need to have someone who's been there, who's been a veteran, and can steer me, advise me, guide me, and say this is the best way to work, and have the contacts. And Scotty just fitted that bill, and he'd been a supporter of us before this. He'd been at our conference, he came to our cook and dine event, and we were just really, really keen to get him involved and we could do it. And that leads into Johnny Mercer as well. I think the way I sum it up with Johnny Mercer is he does what it says on the tin. He is the veterans minister and he cares about veterans. And having him on board and representing the government and working with us is so powerful for us. It proves that, we actually are, we're really positive about doing this. And having those two guys on board was more than I could have ever hoped for at the beginning.
We all know that there has been a challenge for some time around homeless veterans. It's not as it's painted in the media, where there are thousands of homeless veterans across the country, but there is a challenge around those who are homeless or those who sleep rough every night. And hospitality's got a really good record, of intervening in this sector, and particularly in people's lives who are extremely complex, who could be vulnerable for any number of reasons. And so when I heard Greg was doing it specifically for veterans, I was delighted to get involved, and I'll do anything I can to help him make it a success.
I think it's really important to try to get people who've made those armed forces personnel and veterans who have made that transition, like myself, who can offer those who have made the transition and maybe have fallen on hard times an opportunity to have a mentor and a guide, some support, so that in line with the work that Greg's doing to generate opportunities for our veterans and those that are struggling on hard times to be able to have that opportunity to be able to thrive and really demonstrate their own potential.
We're the only charity that has this conduit free of charge jobs board. And if people can turn around and say, we're going to have jobs coming up, we're going to have people a lot of hospitality people are now destitute, sleeping on the streets or sofa surfing. If we can help those, and we've got a hospitality charity that's doing it, that my aim would be that the industry says, right, we're going to get 100% behind Only A Pavement Away, very similar to the way caterer.com has.
Well, the aim is enduring commitment and enduring skills that individuals who take part in this program can take with them into a completely new career that can take them out of where they are, whether they're homeless, sleeping rough, or whatever challenges they have in their life. And Greg's commitment to it is not only to look at that employment side, but the whole kind of picture in the round, a lot of the factors that drive someone to be homeless.
I think by working with the likes of Greg, by working with the service charities to try to generate opportunities for people so that can really affect positively their lives, so that they can feel valued, so that they can feel that sense of belonging and they can regain their identity and take their place in civilian life and be a real asset, would be a wonderful goal to reach.
The best advice to give to people who want to get involved in this sort of thing is to work with people like Greg, who clearly has a strong record in this industry, but really understands the kind of veterans picture and what are all the different factors involved in someone getting to the place where they're homeless or sleeping rough.
We've had other veterans charities have come forward and saying, hey, how do you work? How can we work with you? And some very big ones as well. Our aim is to be very much that when the veterans charities turn around and say, we want to get someone into a hospitality role, and we might have someone who's struggling to get back into society, where do we go? We go to Only A Pavement Away. We don't ring up 20 employers. We don't have to go through a whole network of finding out how we get there. We're going to ring up Only A Pavement Away, and they will have jobs that can help our veterans get work.